We're back to bring some grumpiness to the internet. Welcome back to Redneck Radio, the live stream where today you get an extra healthy side helping of pinto beans, fried taters, cornbread, and a fresh green onion. I'm usually not a beans person, but that sounds good to me today. And with me today as co-host, as you can see, is Germany's favorite furry,
No, I'm
the
not a
Badger
furry.
Man.
I'm not a furry. Come on, man.
Gotta tease you. Gotta
That
tease you.
was such a low blow.
I know, I know. I'm not above taking the low road. So how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you doing?
Oh, uh, woke up this morning with a bit of a sinus headache, but nothing a few pills wouldn't handle. Been editing all
See,
morning and not done yet, but
that's already the thing that fascinates me. Nothing that a couple pills won't fix. Call me old-fashioned, being the young guy here.
mm-hmm.
I've never taken any kind of pills when I had a headache. I suffered through it.
Well, I don't normally. I really don't take because I have a lot of prescribed medication that I take, so I don't like to add to it any more than I have to.
Yeah, understandable.
But when the sinus headaches are a little hard for me to deal
Yeah.
with, and I put up with it for a while. But when your head feels like it's about two sizes too big and about to explode,
Yeah.
you break down.
It just reminded me of some kind of all these weird like statistics that you once read on the internet and then you forget about it and then years later you think, oh yeah, I read about that once. It's like I think what was the US is like by far the number one in the world in terms of medication consumption, and
No, I
that's
would doubt
instantly where my thought went to. I was like, man, like I don't know anyone in like in my circle of friends and family. I don't know anyone who like for a headache would take any kind of medication. So
Yeah.
that's where my thought went
Oh,
first. So
I don't doubt it at all. Here in America, we certainly do big business with over-the-counter drugs. There's no question about that. Hey, Michael Weiner. Um, and it is something I've actually worked on that with my grandkids. My oldest grandson's to the old enough that he doesn't have to take the children's medication anymore.
oh, mm,
And when they lived here, he would constantly complain about a headache and want something to take for it. And I'd try to talk him out of it if I could. If you
yeah.
really just have to have something, we'll give you something. But I don't want
See,
you to just, oh, I've got a little headache. Well, let's take some pills.
yeah. See, the thing is, as much as I dislike these like alternative medicine
Hmm.
things, for example, mostly because it falls into the same category for me as homeopathy.
Hmm.
And I just think it doesn't work because it's basically just sugar, But what we have here is some very weird we I can't even say it on stream, or I mean off stream probably not even that. But we used to have a very, I think you would say it's a racist term to say, but we had like I'm going to try to put it in non-racist terms. Like some kind of, I think it was Vietnamese, some kind of cream that you put on your head, like very very, like not even much, and then you can feel it cooling down your head. It's absolutely insane. And you
Yeah.
can get it like from anywhere, like usually it's like we have a really big Vietnamese community here in East Germany, mostly because that's where we got our worker, that's where the East Germany got their workers from.
Right.
And so they have their own shops and they sell that there. And so what my mother used to do, she used to have she used to have a bit of a storage of these creams, and it's a really small bottle. Like if you make a circle with your thumb and your index finger,
Uh-huh.
that's about how big that thing was.
Wow.
So and it would last probably for about 10 to 15 headaches.
Huh.
And like you can I think it's Tiger Bomb, something like that, to
Uh,
that extent.
yeah, that's what Jedi Ghost Bear asked if
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was.
I was responding to him. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think something to that extent is what it is. And it worked wonders. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you can feel how it feels. First time you do it, it feels like it burns a little on your head.
Mm-hmm.
But then after like a minute or two, you can feel it really cooling down your forehead,
Huh.
and it like headache's gone within half an hour probably.
So icy hot for your head.
Basically, yeah.
And by the way, hey Geodes, how are you? Pat, how are you doing, buddy? Ebony Williams says if I don't use ibuprofen, I just sleep my headache off. Yeah, I
Yeah, that
prefer
also
to
works.
just try to lay down and sleep it off if I have the opportunity or the time to take a nap at that point. But
Another thing that also works for me if I don't have this cream is I just take a washcloth or a rag, and yeah, exactly what Killer said there. Kyler, I don't know.
Kyler.
Kyler. Just, I take a rag, cold water, and on my forehead, and just, lay down for like 10-20 minutes, and usually that works too.
Yeah. Sean DW175 says aspirin doesn't work for me. I have constant headaches.
Oh.
I feel for you because I know headache can get bad. The only aspirin I use is I'm prescribed a low dose aspirin every day because of, I'm an old man and we're supposed to take them. But for pain, I take ibuprofen usually. I'm prescribed it and I'm allowed to take the maximum allowable every day, which is why every time I go to the doctor's office, they check my liver. So,
Yeah, understandable.
yeah. And yeah, Michael Meyer, you're right. So many home remedies, it's not even funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's
It-
just a slight headache, I won't even worry about it. But this morning,
yeah.
it was a sinus headache, and it hurt so bad that then my neck was starting to hurt because of the tension.
Ow.
And I'm like, no,
Yeah. Yeah.
I could take something for this. But Sean says I took low dose aspirin and the doctor put me on 325 milligram instead. Yeah, they just have me on the low dose, which you can buy. I assume anywhere, but I know here in America you can, because it's become so popularly prescribed by doctors to people that are a little older. To take a low dose aspirin, and it is the same dosage as you could take a children's aspirin. It's the same thing, but this isn't a chewable. It's just a little bitty tablet. You swallow.
Speaking of like medication and big pharma, if you will, the one thing that I just think of, my mind always wonders weirdly. When I was watching through probably not so legal means American TV, because obviously it's hard to get here in Germany, and especially if you want to watch some NFL, I was watching I was watching some, I don't even know if it was CBS or something, I don't know, could have been Fox Sports, I don't care really, but they were having like in between, they were having TV ads for prescription drugs, not just over the counter you could just get without like some kind of prescription, but how why? There's no point.
That's constant. You cannot watch. Of course, I haven't just sat down and watched TV for quite a while, but you can't watch TV for. Well, if you sit down and watch an entire hour-long show, for instance, most TV shows are an hour long.
Yeah.
You're going to get at least a couple, if not more.
It doesn't make sense because it doesn't make sense. You can't get it anyway. Like the only way for you to get it is to deliberately ask your doctor to be like, "Hey, can you Like, why would you even do that? The doctor should know best what kind of medication you need, right? Not the patient. This is like self-diagnosis to a whole different level.
Yeah.
In Germany, I haven't I can tell you over the counter medication. I've seen a couple of ads on German TV. You know that, sure, because you don't need a prescription or anything. But prescription drugs, I've never seen this. I don't even know if it's legal in Germany to run a prescription drug ad. I'm pretty sure it isn't.
Now here's the thing that always cracks me up about those is that toward the end of it, you'll have somebody talking real fast, naming
Yeah,
off all the life-threatening side effects that
yeah.
this medication has.
And don't take it with this or this or this. Yeah. That's hilarious. I've seen that too. That was something. And in Germany, when you have like some kind of medication ad, and Circus Zero says it's not legal in Germany. Yeah, it's kind of what I assumed, but maybe that would be something for the U.S. I know free speech and everything, but prescription drugs ads on
Oh,
TV.
it's big business. I'm not one of these people that go out, with my tinfoil hat about big pharma and all that, but there is an issue there. I don't
Yeah.
deny that. I mean, you go to the doctor's. I've been in the doctor's office many times, and the drug salesmen come right in the office with their case
Oh
full
God.
of samples and stuff.
Can I just say your healthcare system really is broken?
Well, it's got some areas that could sure be fixed in.
Yeah. I'm not saying
Necrosol.
the German system is great. It really isn't. Okay, don't get me wrong here. I'm not praising the German healthcare system. It's horrible. But it's horrible in other places. Like
Yeah.
but,
Necrosol
geez.
asks, "Are there oven commercials in Germany?"
No. Funny enough, there are. Yeah.
But Circus Zero says that it's not legal in Germany. So
yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, there was a point where it wasn't legal. Kyler says, but he doesn't remember when the law was changed. Yeah, they should change it back. Honestly.
yeah,
it's in German with German ads. If you have like any kind of medication on German TV, obviously it needs to be over the counter now that Circus Zero said that.
It's so bad that when I go to see my GP, my regular doctor, general practitioner.
I know what GP means. I've played 2 Point Hospital.
When I go see my GP, there's actually a sign up in his office: no salesman on Wednesdays or Fridays.
See, in Germany, we don't even need those signs because no salesman from Monday to Friday. There's no way. And even on the weekends, if there's a doctor, on the weekends, no, just no. Salesmen don't go to the doctors. The salesman, I don't even know who the salesmen go to.
Yeah. Well, there
are big pharma salesman. I don't think it's that much of a job in Germany.
There is one perk to it, if you will, if that is they'll come in with all these free samples. They'll give them to the doctor. Here, give these out to your patients. So if you've got a very expensive medication, your doctor can give you those for free, which will at least save you some money for a while. When I first went on my blood thinner, it's very expensive. It was very expensive. And there was, at that time when I first went on it, there is now, but at that time there was no generic for it because you can get the generic for cheaper. And so free samples and discount coupons is how I kept in the medication because they were over $1 a pill.
Oh wow.
And that's with my insurance. So but it's changed now. There are generics available of that medication, so it's come down considerably.
Yeah,
but American the medical business, if you will, is a funny animal, and it doesn't make sense to people outside of America, outside of the U.S., and it doesn't make a lot of sense to some of us that live here.
Yeah, okay, I give you that. Yeah, it's just I find it kind of weird, yeah.
Yeah, and we do pay a lot. I'm not I'm not for social medicine. I would like to find a solution where the prices would come down dramatically, of course.
Mhm.
But I kind of like the idea that I can go to call my doctor and probably get an appointment that day if I have to. If it's something serious, he can move people around.
Yeah, yeah. See, in Germany, what like it depends on what you have. If you just go to your GP,
Yeah,
generally oftentimes you have to like first you can't really just call in. So the way most GPs in Germany handle their patients is that that you need to show up. Then you go to a registration, and then you can sit down in the waiting room, and then at some point they're gonna, but in the order of when you arrive, they call you in.
right. Well,
That can take that can be instant if you're really lucky.
mhm.
It can take. The longest I've waited was, I think, 3 hours.
Yeah, Kyler, exactly. Are there problems with the medical system here? Yes. Is socialized medicine the answer? No,
Yeah.
I don't think it is either. And I'm not sure, because all these countries, well, you should go to that. England does it, and Canada does it, and this
Yeah,
country
but
does
they
it.
have they have their own
And the
problems.
United States is 5 times the size of any of those. Do you understand the logistics of trying to handle something like that? It's just not the answer here, I don't think. If it works in Canada and England, good for you.
Yeah, the thing is, it doesn't really.
Yeah,
Again, they have their own issues, and if you have like it works easier, I think, for like, let's say, easy illnesses, like, I don't know, if you have a flu or something, you just go in and be like, oh, I need, I don't know, I need some kind of uh, what do you call it, receipt for my employer that I'm sick.
hmm,
And you can get it pretty quickly. It's like you go in, they're like, oh yeah, you've got a flu, or I don't know, you've got this, you've got that, and you get it. That's pretty quick. But if you have like some kind of severe illness, and you need, I don't know, you need something very complicated, very specific, the waiting times are off the charts.
yeah, yeah, and see, pretty much you don't get that here. Are there times, if it's not an emergency, you have to do it right now case that you call your doctor, that they might put you off a day or two? Yeah, but that's like most day or two, you know.
So
Now,
hold on, Jedi Ghostbear says, so all Germany GPs are basically walk-in clinics here. Um, Sounds like it, yeah. Like you go there and you go to the registration and say, hey, I've got this and that, and I want to talk to the doctor, and they say, hey, yeah, sure, and you give them your like insurance card, and then yeah, you go to the waiting room and you wait until
and
it's your turn.
and really here the issues, yes, the issue starts with medical because it's so costly, it's so expensive, but it's also an insurance issue. I mean,
Mm.
I won't get all started on Obamacare and everything, but prior to Obamacare, I did not have near the medical bills that I have now because my insurance covered much more than it does now. Uh, so make of that what you will. But I just recently got a bill for my surgery from last March, or I had a bill collector call me, and oh my gosh, I, did- I owe over $3,000. Um,
Wow.
but when you look at the itemized bill, it was all over $45,000. So that's
Wait. Oh wow.
so yeah, it's I'll take the 3,000 rather than the 45.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, but what I had was I guess would be considered major surgery.
Mm.
So I get anytime they go into your body and replace parts of your body with animal parts, I guess that's pretty major.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, you- I mean, it is what it is. I like how they do it around here, though. Here where I live, my doctor, my surgeon, the hospitals, they're all connected. They're all part of a major hospital chain here in central Indiana, all part of IU Health. And they will text you when you have a appointment coming up to remind you. They have a website, a single website that anybody that's connected to that network, you can see your test results, you can see all this stuff. You know, uh, I like how that works. So,
Mm.
John Connors says a lot of that is because of Sue Happy people. Yeah,
Yeah.
some of it,
I
but
don't I don't understand your legal system either in some ways. It's just
when HMOs and PPOs were more common before Obamacare, it was much cheaper,
mm,
much affordable. If you look at overall, you actually ended up paying about the same, but it was spread out more, in
okay.
smaller chunks.
Yeah.
Instead of getting a single bill of you owe
Mm,
us $3,000, well, it's going to be divided up over the year,
yeah.
which is easier to swallow and easier to pay.
Yep. Definitely, yeah.
Uh, but anyway, I don't want to bring us all down. Speaking of the medical profession, as you can tell by the title and the big news in our little circle of friends here, is Satsu and Squishy had their baby. Yay!
And what an adorable baby it is.
Oh, it's
Like,
she's
I saw the picture on Twitter. I was like, oh, I want to cuddle. I want to squish it.
yeah, yeah. Aaliyah, Alia. I think I'm saying
I,
that right, but
I think so. I'm not sure. I don't want to. I don't even want to try it. Because I feel
yeah,
like I'm gonna completely butcher the name.
but yeah, that's great news. Big news, and anybody that was around or participated in the stream, the marathon Lords of the Night stream that carried through into yesterday.
I hope Monkey is okay, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I couldn't have done it.
Yeah.
But you all amazed me. Just the amount of money that was raised to help Satsu and his family out. It just, people can say what they want and everything, but you guys aren't all bad. You're not all bad.
That's the German way of phrasing. That's a little bit of German coming out from you, huh? You're
Well,
not
there
all
is.
bad.
I I do have some. There's some German. My grandfather was a German Jew. His last name was Blyer. So
I know you told me that before. That's why I said it.
yeah, I don't know a single word, and neither did he. But of German. Uh, yeah, thank you, Jedi. Goes for 2 syllables. Yeah. Uh, Zombie Teddy Monkey streamed for 16 hours. Yeah, I don't know how he done it, dude. I mean, I know he's younger than I am. He's 15 years younger than I am, but I'm not so far removed from his age. I can't remember what it was like. So I'm like, I don't know that I could have done it, but yeah.
Thing is, I think how old is Monkey?
Let's see. Hold on. I got to do the math. He's 15, and you know me in math. I'm 59,
Oh,
so
he's the 44. Okay.
yeah,
um, yeah, he's 18 years older than me,
yeah.
and I'm not sure I would have been able to do that. Like, geez.
Yeah. Yeah. Ebony, yeah, yeah, she came early this morning. I don't know exactly what time. I just when I woke up at about 7 o'clock this morning, and when I opened up Twitter, it was the first thing I seen was Satsu announcing, she's here and pictures and stuff. So yeah. Good stuff. 8 pounds 1 ounce, I think. So a good healthy weight. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's absolutely great. Just absolutely great. Because Satsu's one of them. We consider in our little circle of friends here, and it just maybe it's not exactly family, but it feels like family, and it feels
Mm.
like a family member had a baby, and you just wow, that's great. I don't know if they induced there was a tweet earlier than that, Michael Weiner, that talked about doing cesarean C-section. So I don't know. I don't know all the details. I just know that she is here.
And that's the most important thing, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and it's we pick on medicine in the U.S. today, but one thing's for sure, they've uh, can do a lot of things with births, and they're a whole lot safer than they used to, and the C sections as well.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's a good thing. Back when I was born, all three of us were born C section, and the doctors warned against every one of them.
Wow.
But my mom went ahead with it anyway, and it worked out. But yeah, I mean, big congrats to the 2 Cents family, of
I
course.
just, when you say the phrase "back when I was born," I instantly have to chuckle. I'm sorry.
Well, to put it in perspective, as I said before, when I was born, Dwight Eisenhower was president of the United States. So, yeah, Kennedy wasn't even in office yet.
Wait, hold on. So wait, you're 59. So you were born in 1960?
Yeah,
The Berlin Wall wasn't even built yet.
yep,
That came in 1961.
yep. Things have changed.
Jeez. So over your lifetime, the Berlin Wall was built and torn down.
Yep.
Man, you're old.
Yeah, I know. Michael Weiner says I was born in '59. Yeah, so we're right in the same age group. Gulf City, Johnny Blaze, almost 60 years. Yes, sir. I'll be 60 in March, and looking forward to it actually, because I think it's funny. I'm not one of these people that get all bent out of shape because I'm having another birthday and I'm getting older. I think it's funny. Like, who'd have thunk it?
I mean, going by the stories you've told me, yeah, who would have thunk it?
Oh, trust me, and it really. I put it this way: every time I have a birthday, it's a big, you know, uh, thumb my nose at all the haters that thought I would never live to be 30, and that is true. There was a lot of people, and I don't blame them, rightly so. But not only did I live to 30, I've doubled it. So, uh, what does woolly mammoth taste like? I couldn't tell you. I'm not that old.
So, what was life like without fire?
Yeah. Jedi Ghost Bear, my birthday is March the 22nd of 60. So I'm a few months older than your mom. Uh, and as I recall, Badger's is birthday is close to mine. Not in the year, but on the day.
Yeah, I'm not that old. Come on. But had 2 days before. And isn't Alex's?
His is the day after mine. So
Yeah. We all we need is someone on the 21st. Then
yeah,
we would have 4 in a row.
yeah. It was always funny because coming up through school, I was like the only March birthday I knew for the longest time in school. All my classmates, nobody's birthday was in March.
See, for me, it was similar. I was the only one who had his birth year in 1993. Everyone else was older. I was always the youngest in school.
Yeah.
In March, yeah, I don't remember anyone in my class also having their birthday in March. I remember a couple April, February, but apart from me, no, I don't think there was anyone in March.
because of where my birthday fell, I was quite a bit. I was younger than most of the people in my class all the time.
See, for me, it was a different issue. For me, it was that I skipped two grades.
Well, in
You
in
are the youngest if you skip 2 years. You
in
know.
fourth grade, they wanted to skip me up a couple of grades, and mom and dad said no. Well, they talked to me, and I said, I really no, and I'm glad I didn't. Because
Mm.
school's hard enough without being thrown in with people 2 years older than you. you know.
Yeah, I mean, but I would like for me, having done it, I think it like ultimately, sure, at the time it was tough, being the youngest by quite a bit. I think I was from fifth grade to 10th grade, I was the youngest by about 10 months.
hmm
And after that, like 11th to 13th, which is like our last or our 3 years of high school, I was the youngest for the most part, probably the youngest for over a year,
Yeah.
or by over a year. And so, yeah, I felt what it was like to be the youngest. Let's just say that. But I think long term, as hard as that was, I think long term it just made me stronger.
Yeah. The Batman, Alex didn't leave. He's just taking a little break, and he announced that he was going to do that. And once he starts his job, he'll be hit and miss whenever he
Oh,
can. But he didn't leave per se. He's just not going to be here
no,
every.
Bloodwing, come on. The German has taken over the English sport, okay? Please.
Well, they've tried that before, and it didn't work out so well. So
Yeah, but this time we've done it. This time we've been successful.
I know you're pulling my leg, Batman. I have a sense of humor. Trust me, if I were actually put out at you, you'd know it. There'd be no question. I'm not one of them people that you have to wonder whether or not I'm mad at you or not, because you know very well if I am. Uh, so let's see, what else have we got? What else is going on today? It's a Saturday, so things are a little slow, and then that's good. That's good.
That is
Saturday should be
good.
slow.
That is good. I still have to, or I still had to. I've done it by now, but I still had to prepare for tomorrow, because every Sunday I do like esports commentary, and so I had to prepare for that. Obviously,
Yeah.
you gotta have all your statistics ready and everything.
Oh, sure.
You gotta know like who's driving. You gotta know what tracks, all that kind of stuff. Um, and the thing is, like, this season finally, like, this is going to be the third race. So the season started 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago. But this season, I finally, started to really take it seriously. I really made myself a spreadsheet with all the information. I probably in the whole spreadsheet, I have like 500 numbers, I would assume.
Right.
Um, and a bunch of other info, obviously. And so for the first time, I really take it seriously, and I can already feel how the streams got better. That's the one thing I'm really happy about. That the commentary has gotten better.
Yeah. Zombie Teddy says I started college at age 15 to 16. Talk about awkward.
Yeah, I started at 17, man. I know full well what that's like.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, but in fourth grade, I was tested, and at that time, it was so far off the charts they wanted to bump me up a couple of grades. But thankfully, mom and dad said no, leave him where he's at.
Yeah, yeah. See, for me, it was I was tested the first time. Like, I was tested, um, before I think when I was in kindergarten, I was
Mm,
tested, and they said that when I was, going, like, I was going to first grade, um, I was supposed to go to first grade. They said I was already basically at the level of knowledge of a fourth grader,
well,
but
I was already reading the newspaper by the time I entered first grade.
I wasn't
Even
reading the newspaper. I was reading the what do you call it, the TV program.
hmm
I was reading that, and there were some news articles in it, but obviously not the same
Mhm.
level. Yeah, I was reading that to my grandma.
Now, not
I
to,
like to recall the stories. It's amazing.
not to get us all off on football and everything, because I know you and I could talk football all day, but
Oh yeah.
not everybody in this audience would be into it. But you were talking about, getting your statistics together
Mhm.
and culling race and this, that, and the other. And I know you're very well aware of this person, so I'd like to get your opinion. Pat McAfee, what do you think about him being part of the Thursday night crew now?
I've seen his call of the what was the Packers Lions. I think it was the Packers Lions game
Yeah.
last season, where he was in the booth, and I look, I like the guy a lot.
Oh, he's
You know,
hilarious.
he's got personality to the brim,
Hmm.
and he's funny as all hell. But I don't know. It's- it was amazing to watch on social media. He drew a lot of attention there, sure.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I think Pat McAfee would be suited better for some kind of desk analyst kind of role instead of in the booth. I
So,
think
like
that
in the
would,
studio type of thing.
yeah, I think that would suit him better because that's where he can really let his personality shine. If you're in the booth, I like my commentators, taking themselves back and
Mm.
not being the focus and the center of attention. I want the game to be the center of attention and the commentator to just be, to deliver context, statistics, explanations, all that kind of stuff. The color to explain the inner workings of what exactly happened there, who blew that play or who did a really good play, and the play by play really just to explain to me what he sees and give me a little bit of sound with it. I well, again, desk analyst, Pat McAfee would be amazing, 100%. If I was running, I don't know, Fox Sports, CBS, ESPN, I don't know. I would have put him in some kind of desk role. I would
Yeah.
not have put him in the
Well, I
booth.
see what you're
I
saying.
like that. And I would have. The thing is, he would have been one of the first ones I would have put on the desk. I would have been like, Pat, you go there. I want you there 100%. He would be about one of the best desk personalities possible. But in the booth, I have my reservations.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Real quick, thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. Hello, old man, and minding freedom.
Fuck
Freedom.
off.
He's trying to get his digs in early. Cryptic.
Yeah,
Uh,
typical Asian.
but yeah, I don't want to get us all off in football talk. Well, because while I think some of the chat would probably enjoy it, not all of them. Save that for if I'm able to do the football streams this year. It's not looking good. I
Yeah.
really don't want to do it without J Kid, because that's how it started. Was
Yeah.
it
The
was I
one thing,
started
if,
as
if
something
I
with him, but
if I may shell a little bit here, I think
mhm.
this would be the perfect opportunity. I have started a podcast recently called Faster, Higher, Stronger, Badger, where I do talk, among other things, about the NFL. We had last week I talked about the whole Antonio Brown thing.
Mhm.
Uh, what kind of a shit show that was.
Oh,
This week, there is another NFL topic. It's basically talking about a couple of issues really with the running backs. With all the running backs, Zeke, Melvin Gordon holding out, running backs planning to start their own players union, and all that, and all that kind of stuff. Because I think the running back position is a unique one in the NFL today.
well, yeah, yeah, and they take a heck of a lot of punishment. Uh,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
and
and
they
they're
don't get they only do it generally for 8 to 9 years.
their careers are among the shortest in the NFL.
The best ones, like usually most running backs retire age 30. Frank Gore is a miracle. I mean, I don't have to tell you as a Colts fan,
You're right, right.
You know,
And he done really well for us while he was here.
yeah, yeah. But he's
But
what age is he now? 36 or so, and he's still playing. He's still like he's with the Bills now, and he's expected to be the starter over Shady McCoy. Like
wow,
what? At age 36? That's incredible.
yeah. Well,
But yeah,
I can't blame the Colts for letting him go. I mean, they had to look ahead and they had a chance at
yeah,
some maybe not stellar but decent running backs coming up, and you got Frank there that even though he's a phenom, sooner or later he's going to have to retire.
yeah, exactly. I think honestly, this season or the next one will be his last one. I don't think we'll see much more of him, but I hope I'm pretty sure at some point he will go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Looking at like he ranks fourth among NFL rushing yards leaders by total yards gained.
oh
Like
yeah,
he's fourth in terms of total yards in like career wise.
yeah.
There's only 3 people in the history of the league who have rushed for more rushing yards in their career than him. This is incredible.
Straight Sith Mail says foosball is the devil. That may be, but I enjoy it a lot. I really love my football.
No, he's talking about foosball. He's not talking about the NFL. He's talking about soccer.
Yeah, well, yeah, I never know, and it cracks me up when it's especially usually British people that football. That's not football. Football is this. You know what we call soccer,
Yeah, it's just
and they make fun of us because we call it soccer. Hey, British folks, you made the term up, soccer. That's what you were calling it. And
yeah,
then as soon as America started calling it that, they said psych and started calling it football again.
yep.
So,
It,
yeah,
it originated from I think Oxford was it when they took the word association from association football
hmm
and uh, took the AS at the beginning away, added an ER at the end because that's what they do in Oxford,
yeah.
and they called it soccer.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't blame us.
Yeah,
It's because you Brits couldn't make your mind up.
we should have beat them. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, we did.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I have no comeback from that.
Twice, actually.
Oh man, we lost twice. Fuck.
But I don't really count the War of 1812 because they've done a lot of damage during that one. They actually burned our capital, so you know, eh, and that was pretty much at the end of that was an agreement of like, look, this is costing both of us a lot. How about we stop? Basically, is what it amounted to.
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah. And speaking of shilling, I'm going to take this opportunity, and I'll probably say it again at the end of the episode. I'm currently working on editing episode 12. I can't believe it's been 12 episodes already. Uh, of Redneck Trek, and
Mm.
it just started as a lark.
Yeah.
It just started as a lark. There was a stream that me and Monkey and Alex were on, and I said, I ought to, because I was talking about I'd started playing Star Trek Online again, and they said, well, you ought to do that, and I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. And now 12 episodes later, we're still going. But yeah, be sure to stay tuned tomorrow at 5:30 for that. Um and thank you, Pat, for that. And yes, I know, Michael, you're my biggest fan. I know you are. But the big changes in store for the crew of the Hold My Beer, and yeah, not the least of which is one of them's going to get the axe. So who will it be? Dum dum dum.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah, I'm becoming very proud of them because I've gotten better over time. If you look at the early few episodes, they were pretty rough, pretty rough.
that isn't that how content creation generally works?
It
You
is.
start off being completely shit, and then over time you get better and better and
and
better.
and as time went on, my editing got better, and different things were improved, and then eventually, I don't know, 5 or 6 episodes ago, I totally shut off the music in the game so I can add my own music, you know, uh,
Mm.
and do it that way. And I think that this episode, that I'm still editing, has some of my best bits and jokes in this one. So, I might be biased.
Maybe.
But yeah, be on the lookout for that. And I really feel like my editing skills have gotten far better now by episode 12. They were never good to begin with, and I admitted that. I told everybody from the beginning my editing skills suck.
Come on. They weren't that bad. Come on. They're probably, honestly, they're better than mine.
I don't know about that.
To be fair, it doesn't say much, but
Yeah, but they've gotten a lot better, and I'm learning to do more things with editing software that I never attempted to do before, because I just went for straight, easy, simple as possible. But I'm trying to push myself with this one.
Kyler says, "Oh, great! You two started talking football, and all the ladies went quiet."
Yeah, I know.
If
Isn't
only
that
the
the way? But I do know women that are football fans. My youngest daughter is. Um, at least when our Colts play, she's all about it. So
yeah, but can you really call it football when the Colts play?
oh, now come on now. You've seen our season last year. We
Yeah,
come out air.
It was a cheap shot. Okay, come on.
Now back the first season when we were doing the NFL stream, yeah, they stunk.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
But that was the also the season that Andrew Luck completely missed because he was hurt.
Yeah.
So
you've got an excuse at least.
yeah. And of course, the talk is now with the Colts is Andrew going to play? Yeah, I think he's going to play.
Yeah, sure.
I looked at a statistic the other day for the Colts, and all of our starters, both offense and defense, their time played in the preseason is like a third of what it was last year. He's just protecting all the starters. The coach is what he's doing. And that makes sense to me because those aren't really the guys that you're looking at. Preseason is for deciding who you're going to cut of the new guys.
Yeah.
Preseason
is about testing out everyone who's not safe on the roster. What generally what a lot of coaches do is they let their stars and their starters have one drive at the very beginning, and then they're like, okay, now we got to give the fans a little something, and now we're going to our evaluation.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how it works.
Yeah, but Andrew's a pretty tough kid. Well, he's not really a kid anymore.
I mean, from your perspective, he is.
Yeah.
Then again, from your perspective, Monkey is probably a kid.
He's a tough kid, and he tends to really underplay any injuries. We know that because he wants to play.
Yeah,
he really wants to play, and I think the coach is just keeping it close to the vest is all, and he's protecting his starters.
Yeah, which is probably the best thing you can do.
Yeah. And people say, "What? But the Colts haven't won a game in preseason." Good.
Who cares?
I'm glad.
I'm pretty sure there have been teams who went 0-4 in the preseason who went on to make it to the Super Bowl.
Oh, absolutely. So our best seasons have come off of losing preseasons.
Yeah, see?
So I'm like, go ahead and lose all them games. I don't care.
Who cares about the preseason record? Who gives a crap?
Exactly.
That's like, I don't know. That's like when there's like I've seen this in soccer as well. When I don't know. Usually, soccer preseason looks a little bit different. You don't play like other teams on your same level. Usually, you You make up like friendly matches in preseason preparation with either international teams, or sometimes what Bayern Munich, for example, does is they hook up some kind of some Bavarian regional team, some sixth division team or something, and they're like, come on, let's play, and and then when they only win 5-0, everyone's like, they only won by 5 goals. Is this the crisis already? Like, it's fucking preseason, you idiots. Oh,
Yeah. Pat has it exactly right. Preseason is for the ones that'll hardly see the field in the regular season.
it's for special teamers and backups and third stringers.
Deck Train asks, should the NFL expand the playoffs to 16 teams? I really don't see a need. I don't see a problem with how the playoffs are set up in the NFL. I really don't.
One thing I wouldn't change in the NFL.
Yeah.
However, I have to say, like, looking at the rule changes this year, I like them. That you can now challenge pass interference calls or non-pass interference calls.
Yeah.
That's good. Obviously, we've seen,
Yeah, because we've seen some pretty terrible calls over the last couple of seasons.
Honestly, I wish they would allow you to challenge more than just pass interference. Not everything. I don't think every penalty or non-penalty, because then we're gonna talk about, like,
Yeah, you don't want to go too far. Too far, because I mean, already a football game lasts 3 hours plus.
Yeah. For example, like, I don't think it would make sense to make a holding call, an offensive holding, challengeable.
Yeah.
Because there's always a holding somewhere. That's the thing. Like, every play I've seen.
On the line,
that could be a hold. This could be a holding.
When you're talking, down in the trenches, the offensive and defensive linemen, holding is par for the course. They all.
Yeah. The thing is, the defensive players are allowed to hold.
Yeah. So
that's their advantage.
And
the offensive players aren't.
The offensive line holds on the regular. The trick is how to learn how to hold and not look like you're holding.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is, I've seen footage of Brian Bulaga, Packers right tackle, who has a very interesting technique that at first glance looks like it's holding. It does the inverse. Because referees obviously prepare for the games, and so they know that kind of technique, and so it looks like holding, but for the most part isn't, which makes it easier that you can actually sneak in a little hold every now and then and get away with it, because the refs know, this technique, it looks like holding, but it isn't.
Deck Train says 18-game regular season or 16-team playoffs. When I watched football, it wasn't even a 16-game season. It was shorter.
Yeah, I would be okay with an 18-game regular season if you make the whole season longer to 20 weeks instead of what it would then be 19. So every team has 2 bye weeks.
Right, and if you, I don't know. The only way I would probably be on board with that is if they shorten preseason.
I mean, obviously.
And, as much as a fan as I am, sorry, Monkey. I keep saying this needs to tell you when people are in the waiting room. There he is. How long you been waiting there, buddy?
Oh, just a minute. As soon as I got in and I saw you two were busy talking, I'm like, they're not even going to notice me.
Yeah.
I've been there, done that, so.
Wait, who are you?
I think StreamYards needs to put a little audible alert that the person running the stream hears when somebody pops in.
Just a little chime would be great.
Yeah.
Why can't I change it off a private chat?
I don't know. And reminder, people, change to live chat unless you like your chat censored, because by default it goes to top chat.
I always forget that.
That's why I called you Reddish Neck.
Um, but back to what Deck Train says, as much as I love football and as much as I'd love to have football all year long, by the end of a 16 game season, and then you add in the postseason, those guys are physically wore out. They're in rough shape.
Yeah.
At the end of the season.
I think it would make it safer, though.
You think?
Yeah, because
it would slow the game down, wouldn't it?
It would. They'd have to take that into account. Part of it is their training schedule as well. I mean, these guys train like they get a day off each week if they're lucky. Sometimes if their coach isn't being a jerk. So it's not just the 16 games you see. It's what is that? 4 months worth of just going from start to stop, and that's not counting the preseason.
Oh yeah,
or if you say 4 months.
Sure. Well, I'm a Charger fan, so.
Real quick, thank you, Cryptic Rednecker. Okay, if you say so, Mr. Slant Eyes.
Wow.
Yeah, and if you've ever seen an NFL practice, those boys don't play around. That's not easy stuff.
Yep.
So it's not just the game on Sunday or Thursday or Monday or whenever. There's 5-6 days of going at it hard off the field.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. It's a interesting question. Like I said, when I started watching football and became a football fan, it was a 14 game season, I think. Trying to remember, but it was shorter. So how you been, Monkey? You recovered from your
I'm awake. I'm awake now.
Yeah.
Which is different than pretty much all day yesterday that I was on the air.
Oh, I bet. we were just talking earlier that neither one of us know how you did it. I could,
love for Satsu, man. That's what did it. That's how I did it.
Yeah. Well, I was only on there for 2.5, 3 hours, something like that, and I was pooped by the time I got done. But excuse me. Pat says he's been enjoying the little bundle of joy. Isn't it the cutest thing?
Oh, she's so cute. That first video he put up, she looks so mad. She's like, "Turn off the damn lights."
Like, what are you doing? Get that out of my face.
Babies are like that. I mean, you bring them out, and hospital lights are so brutal, man. They could at least put a little shade over just them.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, here, let's blind the new baby.
Yeah, but I was glad that I woke up at about 7 this morning, and the first thing I seen as soon as I opened Twitter just happened to be Satsu's tweet right there at the top of my feed. The baby's here.
Yeah, I had gone upstairs and I ate, and I started watching Manhunters. I finally got to not season 2, episode 2 of that show, and I heard Lady Monkey get up. I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's like 3 a.m. So I came down here and I forgot to take my phone upstairs with me. So I pick up my phone, like, oh, baby, baby, there's a baby.
There's a baby. Oh yeah. So Manhunters, is that season 1 or 2 that you're starting on?
Season 1. I started watching it a long time ago. Seriously, 6, 7, 8 months ago. I can't even remember how long ago it was. But people are talking about it again because
season 2's out.
Yeah. And so fuck, I'll catch up on this show. And I almost fell asleep until I heard Lady Monkey. So yeah.
I haven't watched season 2 yet. I finished season 1 back when it first came out. I enjoyed it quite a bit, but that sort of thing fascinates me anyway. So in fact, as you all well know, because we spent a great part of the last stream, Alex and I, talking about serial killers. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting season 2 in when I get around to it. Been looking for one of them there round tits.
My dad actually gave me a round to it once.
So did mine. He
You're an
made
ass.
my dad was, after he retired, was for a long time till he became physically unable to, was into woodworking a lot. Had a lot of, had drill presses and skill saws, all that stuff, all in the garage. There's all still in the garage, but they've been unused for years. But yeah, he cut out a little round piece of wood and carved in it round to it. Let's see. Pat says it took him back to when his kids were born. Yeah, I hear you, but dude, I hear you. I don't know how anybody can look at a baby and just not go all squishy inside.
I'm reaching out to Satsu to see how mama and baby are doing right now.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'd like to know. In the meantime, I hate to do this to you fellas, but you know what time it is.
He's going to make us talk while he goes and relieves himself.
Yeah.
How dare you, sir?
Oh, how dare it. Well, it's either that or I messed my chair up.
The way he said, I thought he started.
Could be. I'll be right back.
So, Badger.
Yeah.
How did you become an American football fan living in Germany?
I have to go back for this one. In early 2011, the Super Bowl. Obviously, I would have to explain first. Super Bowl here in Germany is on late at night, as most football games are, because of the time difference. And since the Super Bowl is on a Sunday evening, that's Monday morning for us here in Germany. And I was up late one Sunday night, and no, it's not Dectran. I never watched NFL Europe. That's not how that worked out. But 2011,
not even Europeans watch that.
Europeans did watch that actually. They had pretty good attendance rates for American football. But for some reason the NFL was like, yeah, no. I hope they revive that at some point because I think there is a lot of potential here in Europe.
I think they're worried about their players getting arrested for breaking laws before they can come play in the real league. Because they kind of use that as a farm league for the main.
What laws?
You guys seem to. I bet. I'm just throwing this out there. That if there was an NFL Europe star who beat the crap out of his girlfriend in a elevator on camera, you guys wouldn't be like, that's no big deal. Come play the game. That kind of law. That's what I was talking about.
True, but it would have to happen in a European elevator. If it happened in a US elevator, they wouldn't be arrested in Europe.
Sure.
So at least there's that. But yeah, that is a possibility. But usually, I feel like the people that get arrested, or I mean, the ones we hear about really, are the ones that are like the most prominent players. So just they wouldn't play in the NFL Europe anyway. I don't think we would see a Kareem Hunt in the NFL Europe or Ray Rice. They wouldn't play in that.
No, look, dude, it's not just our big stars that beat their women.
Oh.
It's a requirement at the combine.
Is it a new combine event?
Oh, it's not a new one. They just don't put that one on tape.
So you mean like the Wonder League score where they don't show, like they don't publish the result?
See, they run through the tires and then they take them off to this little room where they beat a woman real fast.
Fucking hell.
Well, that's a new one on me. And since the combine is run here in Indianapolis, when I worked at the limo company, we done all their transportation for the combine. So
they should have asked him. Say, can I see your knuckles? You just seen it.
Oh God! But yeah, so 2011, I was up late one night, and it was early February, and therefore it was Super Bowl night, and I was just randomly, because I didn't find like any good TV shows, because what good TV shows are on 1 a.m. in the morning on
Sure.
a like Sunday night to Monday morning, like So I was just zapping through, and it was like on the first channel that generally most people have on their TV sets. The first channel is the state broadcaster, or one of the state broadcasters. For some reason we have two. One of the state broadcasters, and I watched it. It was really bad in terms of like broadcast quality. Like, commentators were shit. They didn't know what to. Fucking hate Camel.
Good one. Hate Camel. Good one. Good.
Shit, man. But yeah, so I was watching it, and I was like, hey, that's an interesting game. I didn't understand a damn thing about it. I was like, that looks interesting. I didn't see any kind of order to it. I didn't see any kind of rules to it. It looks like, just people running into each other and just, trying to beat the crap out of each other. But, I started watching, and it was the Super Bowl 45. It was the one the Packers won, which is pretty much one of the reasons why I'm a Packers fan.
Sure.
Because that was the first game I watched, and Aaron Rodgers was just incredible. And then 2012 came, the 2011 season came around. I kind of forgot, I was, because the thing is, at the time, you couldn't watch the NFL on German TV at all. Like, you could watch the Super Bowl, and that was it. Even championship games, nope. Play like divisional wild card, nope. Regular season, nothing. Absolutely nothing. You could watch the Super Bowl in Germany, and that's it. And I think that changed in 2015. I would say. I'm not a bandwagon fan, Kyler. I've been a Packers fan ever since. If I was a bandwagon fan, I would have abandoned the Packers like in 2012 or 2013.
Or now.
Or now. Oh, don't remind me.
It's just what happens with people with football. Like Lady Monkey, she started watching football when it was Aikman and Smith and who was wide receiver in that game?
She's a Cowboys fan.
She's a Cowboys fan. Well, she was more an Emmitt Smith fan than anything, but that was the team that was dominating everything when she started watching football with me, and she just fell in love with them, and she stuck with them even though they suck. People tend to, and that's why you always have your hometown team. That's the team you see the most and hear about the most. That's just how it happens.
I used to love Lady Monkey before you told me this, man. Now my opinion of her is slightly tarnished.
Again, if you look at it from the lens that she's an Emmitt Smith fan, that's still Smith was fucking amazing.
Monkey.
Oh yeah.
I was joking. Okay, come on.
Zombie Teddy says, "Why is the NFL Combine always held in Indianapolis? I don't understand why that is." Me or you, Monkey, and living here and having some inside information on it. Like I said, we used to do all the transportation for them, so you hear things. Indianapolis just offered them the best deal, and our setup here for them is really great because there's a major hospital just a few blocks away. So, they're not only just going through their paces at the combine, all those guys are individually taken over to the hospital for x-rays and tests and to see what's physically wrong with them as well. Yep. So it's just, we just have a really good setup here is all.
And the NFL hasn't found a way to properly monetize it yet.
Yeah.
Which is really weird because I could instantly think of 5 ways to monetize the NFL Combine.
Sure.
Off the top of my head, like, boom. And for some reason, they just, I don't know, they seem oblivious, but, maybe they're making too much money.
Well, some of them, yeah.
I'm talking about league office. All of them. How is whatever amount of money Roger Goodell makes. How is that justifiable, man?
Cynical Lindsay says football is overrated. There, said it, and yeah, you're welcome to that opinion. Some of us like, and like I said
You're
earlier
wrong,
on, I
but-
know not all of
I was about to say it. Welcome to your wrong opinion.
I know not all of my followers are going to be into football or football talk. I get that. But it is football season, so if we veer off into that once in a while, you will please excuse us. Because we do like
again, if you need a weekly football fix, I started a podcast where I think now that the football season is really like coming through. Every week there will be at least one football topic, and so if you want to listen to that, I'm still amazed that it's now on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Stitcher. I couldn't get it on Google Podcasts because Google Podcasts doesn't allow me to upload from Germany. Fuckers. But it's amazing. Like my fucking podcast is on Spotify. I still don't get it.
You see that, Muggy?
No, I'm sorry. Says the guy who says cereal is soup. Just because I'm right. Don't be hating.
Mama Minnie in the chat. Hey, baby. Cynical, I'm with you. No thanks. Yeah, she's not the daughter that's into football. That's my youngest daughter is. And J Kid eats, sleeps, and drinks sports of all kinds. So,
can we really call the Lions sports?
Well, you know,
Look at them.
He's honest about it.
Yeah, true.
If you ask him, he'll tell you, yeah, they stink. But that happened because back when he was a little kid, and I don't know, was probably 6 or 7 years old, and he got into a flag football league, and his team was the Lions. And it just kind of, one thing led to the other. So.
I thought you just forgot him in Detroit once, which would explain a lot more, to be honest.
To answer my question, because I sent Satsu a question asking how Mama and Baby are doing. He sent me a picture of Squishy sleeping and the baby's in the little bassinet thing they give you right next to her. Aw.
Babies.
Kyler says, "Be fair, Benjamin. Barry Sanders was a special player."
Yeah,
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying the Lions of today. Okay, I'm not saying the Lions back when Barry Sanders was playing. Sure, even like you don't have to go that far back. Calvin Johnson was a heck of a player, but doesn't change the fact that if you look at the Lions right now.
Well, even if you look at them during Barry Sanders' day, they did not have the kind of record they should have had with a star player like him.
Yeah, which goes to show that you need more than one star player to have a functioning.
They had the one good team. I forget the receiver on that team. They dominated the whole fucking season to get into the playoffs and get decimated by the Eagles. What was it, 52-7 or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Wait, the Lions?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a pretty good season here a couple of years back.
What the hell was his name? I forget the receiver. No, they had a really good team, and they pulled the Chargers, man. They went into the playoffs and just it was embarrassing how bad they lost.
I'm trying to find it right now. Let me see here.
Well, look up Eagles Lions playoff game. I'm sure it'll be the first one that comes up.
I'm looking. You're saying a couple years back?
Well, a decade or more.
Oh, okay.
When Sanders was an active player, man.
Oh, okay.
You got to remember, I'm old. A decade is just a couple of years to me.
No shit, me too. And that was yesterday, man. Herman Moore, thank you, Deck. Yeah, Herman Moore.
Oh yeah, but 58-37 is what I found here to the Eagles.
Is that what the final was? Yeah, but look up the box score. It wasn't that close.
Yeah, I'd say some of the points had to be garbage points.
Oh God.
Yeah.
38-7 at halftime.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
They got embarrassed, man.
They got their God.
I remember watching that game just going, Holy crap. I kept watching it just to see how bad the final would be.
Yeah, 51-7 at one point, and then they put some garbage points on there to make it 37-58. Jesus Christ. 51-7 with what is this here? We don't have I don't have play-by-play data for this, do I? Oh, I do. Ha! Awesome. With basically 7 minutes 52 in the third quarter left to play.
Yeah. I told you, man, they got blown out, man. It was bad. It was bad. It was almost like the Chargers Super Bowl. If you look at them versus the 49ers, the final score wasn't that bad. If you look at the end of the first quarter, you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like 21-0 in the first, 8 minutes?
Yep. And as a Colts fan, we've been lucky. We've had a pretty good run of successful seasons for a long time now, with the occasional bad season thrown in there now and again. But it wasn't always like that. When they first come over here, Colts were the joke of the NFL.
Yeah, they were.
We didn't have a winning season really to speak of until Jim Harbaugh come over to play quarterback, and of course we know Peyton Manning replaced him, so that started the whole thing.
Beth says she's not a fan of football; she's a fan of baseball. I'm a fan of baseball, but I usually don't pay. I like to watch the games, but I don't pay a whole lot of attention until we get to playoff time. And we're getting close, and my Cubbies are starting to scare me, man.
Yeah, I like to play baseball. I'm actually a decent baseball player. It's the only sport I actually lettered in school. Wasn't a half bad second baseman in my day before I lost my wheels. But to watch the game bores the crap out of me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
I've tried it once. So I don't understand the rules. I understand that you need to hit a ball, hopefully as far as possible. But other than that, What? When is the ball in? When is it out? When is it When do you have to catch it? When doesn't it matter that you catch it? I don't get it. So
for me, it just goes on too long. And I don't mean the game itself. I mean the season. 162 games is a long fucking time to follow a team.
Yeah.
Cut that shit in half.
Sean DW, you shut your mouth. This is a Redneck
stream. Hey, yeah.
Talking about NASCAR.
Exactly. I'm with you on that one. Fuck you.
Look,
don't disrespect motorsports. Come on, don't disrespect racing.
It's not a sport. I'm with him on that. However, it does take a tremendous amount of physical ability to sit there like that.
Which would make it a sport, wouldn't it?
No. It would take a tremendous amount of...
If you think these drivers aren't athletes to sit in those cars like they do for 500 miles...
I've sat in this chair for 500 miles. I did it 2 days ago.
That was 500 miles.
Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. Baseball is fun if you understand the strategy, and there is strategy involved. Yeah, there is.
Yeah, sure, but I don't get it.
No,
it goes on too long.
I like watching the game if it's the Cubbies. I don't watch very many other games unless it's a playoff game. But yeah, the season just goes too long. And it's not that it goes too long; it's just too many goddamn games in there. Just spread it out a little bit. Spread it out. Yeah. Give them an extra day off after each series.
Deck Train says yeah, I can't talk. NHL. Monkey can't read and I can't talk. Yeah, hockey was something that I don't understand. I've tried watching hockey.
Me too.
I don't get it. I don't.
See, I find that a lot easier to follow.
Since they took the fights out, I just don't even care. That's the only reason I used to watch it, is for when these guys would throw off the gloves and start beating the hell out of each other. And now they get shot if they do that.
Yeah.
You guys have to play nice when you're shoving elbows into each other's faces.
Thank you, Jedi Ghost Bear, for the donation. Especially that team is the Mariners. Speaking of of baseball. It's been a long time since I've followed baseball at all, so I don't even know who's the good teams and who's the bad teams anymore. Long time.
There was a grand slam hitting the Yankees game yesterday, which was fucking awesome to see.
Yeah.
The Yanks are not having the greatest year, but that was nice to see. That actually, I believe, helped lift them out of a slump they were in. I'm not going to bore you guys with baseball. Let's bore them with football.
John Connors is hockey is soccer on ice. That's exactly the way I feel about it.
It's a smaller field, so it's more fun.
Yeah. It is true to a certain extent. You know, yeah, both games have some form of offsides. Both games are pretty much played mostly in continuous play, which is something you don't see in American football, obviously, where after every play, you know, you have a waiting period until the next play comes around.
Well, if we want that, we'll just watch basketball, you know.
Well, the thing is, basketball has a lot of scoring.
Yeah.
Like how many baskets are scored every game per team? Probably 40, I would guess. So 80 baskets per game by both teams, roughly on average.
He's 80, talking baskets, not points, guys. Remember?
Yeah. I'm talking baskets. Roughly, probably 40 per team. We say, you know, let's say 100, probably maybe even more.
Yeah, and in soccer, they score like once every 6 games.
No. In soccer, the average is about 2.5 goals per game. And in hockey, it's like what, 4 or 5. So it's definitely in the same range. So the comparison makes sense, but obviously there are differences.
The soccer field is way too big.
Not for 22 players.
Yes, it is. It looks like, and there's room for each of them to build a house out there.
Would be a small house
and a street down the road. No, the low scoring in soccer is a problem for Americans. That's why we don't watch.
Yeah.
Even though if you pay attention to football, I mean, a game finishes at 21-14,
which would be 5 scores.
Yeah, it would be 2-3 in soccer.
Yeah.
But how long is a soccer game? Like 6 hours?
The fuck off. It's 90 minutes plus 90 minutes of continuous play with 15 minutes of halftime break. So from beginning to end, usually you have so from kickoff to the final whistle, you have about 110 minutes, 115, maybe 2 hours at most.
Yeah, see, this is why you guys lost the World Wars. You guys have these sports that you celebrate that have such low score. 1-0, yay! And we're out there like we need 21-14. We need bigger.
So basically, if we just made a goal worth 5 points, then you would watch it.
I in all seriousness, I think it would go over with American audiences better.
Yeah,
this is retarded.
Yeah, well, if you make a goal from beyond the half field mark, then it's worth more points.
Look at our sports, our biggest sports. I mean, yes, there's baseball, which is one at a time, and there was actually a lot of whining for a long time about there not being enough scoring, and then baseball stars started using steroids and fixed that. But in football and basketball, none of our points are worth 1. Well, I guess the free throw is, but even then you get 2 shots at it.
Sometimes even 3 if you get fouled on the 3-point line.
So, I mean, all of our stuff is about more points. So, make a goal worth 2 points and allow full contact. There you go. We'd watch. We'd be in that shit.
I'm not sure full contact is going to be the answer. But
I just throw a helmet on him.
You know what? No. We have no.
Throw a helmet on him.
Look, soccer right now doesn't have a concussion problem. Let's not start one, okay?
You guys have a problem with guys falling down when nobody touched them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. But
Those are some of my favorite soccer moments, though, man. Sorry, football moments.
They are.
They're great.
But you know what I was thinking right now? What if so the soccer basically has, if you will, two boxes. They have like a what is it? 15 no, what is it? It's 18 feet box, I think. So, yeah, 18 feet box. If you score from there, which is like obviously really close, it will be 1 point. If you score inside the how much is that? 30 no soccer box dimensions. I need to look this up. I have no clue. 18 yards. Haha. So we've got an 18 feet box, we've got an 18-yard box, and then obviously outside. So if you're scoring from inside the 18 feet box, 1 point. Inside the 18-yard box, 2 points, and outside of that, 3 points. How does that sound?
That would be we'd watch. Mm-hmm. You gotta pump up them numbers. We cannot get excited about a game that ends 0-1.
To be fair, that's how the NFL. I mean, not 0-1, but the NFL started very low scoring, didn't it?
Yeah, well, but it's not today. If we had a game today that was ended in the NFL 0-7, and we didn't watch it, we'd look at that score and say, "Boy, that was a lousy game."
Yeah. We do that. There's games that end 0-3, and all you hear people talk about is that game sucked.
Yeah,
because it's one guy kicked the ball through the goal.
The last time that happened was in 2007 when the Steelers beat the Dolphins 3-0.
And people still whine about it.
Probably. Oh wow, there hasn't been a 7-0 game in the NFL since 1983. That's incredible.
No, that can't be right.
Yeah, it's right. The last one was Patriots beating the Saints 7-0 in December 1983.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm amazed by this as well. But
now, what about 7-3?
Hold on, I just closed the thing.
I remember one game. I don't even remember who it was.
7-3. 2012.
There was a game.
Broncos. But there was a 6-0 game last season. Jaguars Colts.
There you go.
Ludwig, you should know that.
Yeah, I remember that game actually. Now.
Jaguars scored. Did they score 2 field goals or did they fuck up the extra point? No, 2 field goals. Not a single touchdown. 2 field goals by the Jaguars, and that was it.
Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. Soccer is gayer than a male prison job.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Not wrong. No, there was a game. I remember the one team. I can't remember who it was, but they won with this. Their score was 15, and it was 5 field goals. And people were like, "That game sucked." Yeah. The team scored 5 times, but everybody's like, "That game sucked. They played horribly."
Yeah,
wasn't that last year?
I don't think it was like 2 years, maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, there was a game that ended with 15 points last season. Was the Bears beating the Rams 15-6? But there was a safety involved, so
Yeah, we just don't like you. You better get the big score at least once. Mm-hmm. We want to see somebody go in there and dance like an idiot.
Yeah.
Yay! I did my job. Yeah, we have to see
here,
that. I will be right back, gentlemen. I forgot to get a drink.
Okay.
All right. Oh no, I didn't find it. It was an overtime win, so that was also a touchdown. 15-10. There were a couple of 15-point games last season, interestingly.
Yeah, and it happens. And sometimes I personally enjoy those if they're low scoring because they were a defensive struggle. Because I do enjoy watching a good defense.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't? But if it was because both teams just literally stink.
Yeah, I found it. It was 49ers against the Bears, 15-14. The Bears scored 2 touchdowns, but the 49ers scored 5 field goals. And it was Robbie Gould on all 5. From 33, 28, 35, 34, and 24. So The longest field goal he kicked in that one was 2 yards further than the extra point.
Yeah.
Which is really nothing. Like that's a chip shot.
Well, what it tells you too is that they were having problems in the red zone. They were getting it down there, they just couldn't get it in.
Yeah, but they still won,
Yeah.
15-14, but they won. But I think there was even a game where it was like 18 points where a team scored 6 field goals and just held on. I think there was a game like this. I hope I don't misremember it. I'm pretty sure 18 points and won the game. Oh yeah, I think this is it right here. 18-16 Steelers Chiefs, January 2017. Yes, Chris Boswell, the legend. Chris Boswell, the legend. On the road in Kansas City, which Arrowhead Stadium, pretty tough place to kick 6 field goals. And it wasn't easy field goals. It was, okay, the first one was easy, 22. The other one's 38, 36, 45, 43, and 43, and he nailed them all. 18-16. If he misses one of them, he misses a single one of them,
in today's NFL, and with the rule changes that we've had, especially with some of the kickoff changes and the extra point changes and so forth over the last few years, a really good kicker is pretty important to a team.
Yeah.
Much more important than it used to be.
Mm-hmm. But that's amazing. The Steelers won with 18 points and didn't score a single touchdown. Just 6 field goals. I watched that game. I remember this quite well. I had to find like what the actual final result was with 18-16. And it was a playoff game on top of that. It was a playoff game as well, divisional round. It was also on the same day as the Packers 34-31 against the Cowboys, where Aaron Rodgers threw that ball rolled out to the left, threw it downfield to Jared Cook on the sideline, who just caught it, and then a 51-yard field goal from by Crosby sealed the deal. And everyone was talking about that pass by Aaron Rodgers, how great that was, and Aaron Rodgers coming through once again. On the same day, it was this 6 field goal win for the Steelers.
Yeah. Of course, we've been very fortunate here in Indy for a long time now to have Adam Vinatieri.
God, yeah.
Arguably one of the best of all time, or at least in modern times, anyway. And
certainly.
But I mean, I'm shocked. I thought he would retire after last year, so I'm shocked he's still playing this year.
Nah, he keeps going. He keeps going.
Dude, he's totally gray-headed. His beard's completely gray.
Yeah, but he's a kicker. Who cares? Who gives a crap? Sure, if he was like a quarterback or something, or if he was, I don't know, if he was a running back, certainly, but he's a kicker.
Yeah, and he doesn't even he only kicks field goals and extra points. He doesn't even do kickoffs. So
the thing is, I love statistics. You know that. Adam Vinatieri is the all-time leading NFL scorer.
Yeah.
2,600 points.
Yeah. And
no player in NFL history has scored more, and he can add on to that. You know who's second among active players? Phil Dawson, who's 44 at this point.
Yeah,
and kicking for the I think he's still with the Cardinals. I think.
And to put that in perspective, those weren't touchdowns; those were all 1 and 3 points at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. He's in his career. He's kicked. Let's see. He's scored, I should say, 582 field goals and 852 extra points. The man has kicked over 1,400 balls in situations where it mattered. Not talking when he was ice, not talking practice, not talking sideline. 1,400 kicks in game. And it's 1,400 kicks scored. He's kicked, 1,500? Yeah, over 1,560 were his attempts.
Mama Minnie, my daughter at this, she met the kicker. She means Vinatieri last year at a work event. Yeah, I remember that, and I was jealous.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
I'm not.
Do you even know what we're talking about, or does it matter?
Yeah, I've been listening. Okay. I don't like kickers.
You don't like kickers, huh?
Kickers are people too. Kickers.
Yeah, but
they should make the center kick the ball.
Listen, Monkey. Just because the Chargers didn't have a good kicker for a decade now, doesn't mean the kickers are horrible. Your kickers are bad.
Yeah,
okay?
And with the recent rule changes, and especially with extra point changes and different things, kickers have become much more a part of the game now. So,
yeah.
Hashtag make the center kick.
Jesus.
I think they should have to go both ways too, like high school.
Yeah, well, they used to back in the old days. There were lots of players that played on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
But not anymore. They're all
too many specialists in the game these days.
Yeah.
I'm thinking right now, who was the Chargers kicker last season?
Nobody cares. I watched. He missed way too many kicks.
Was it Caleb Sturgis?
I honestly I don't remember his name. That's how bad
Okay. I think it may have been.
Look, if you're a Chargers fan, you don't learn the name of the kicker. You learn the name of seriously. You learn the name of the quarterback,
running back.
No. Don't waste your time. The quarterback, the tight end, and the wide receiver.
In your team history.
Shh, I know. And what happened to him? We sent him away.
So you're saying as a Chargers fan, you'd be watching the game, the kicker comes out, somebody says, "Who's that?" It says, I don't know. I'm not going to learn his name. It's pointless.
It's pointless. No, all you worry about is the passing game as a Chargers fan, because that's all the ownership has been worried about since the 80s.
Oh, wow.
It's true. Wow. Look at it. They got rid of Breeze to bring in Rivers and let LT go. Oh, man. Don't get me started on that shit.
I don't know. Something tells me it might be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's what the Chargers have always done ever since the days of Air Coryell. The closest we got was under Bobby Ross, who actually started building a team. Yeah. That was back when Natron Means, who was a good running back. Him wiping his ass with the terrible towel was one of my all-time favorite moments in sports.
Nice.
But that team eventually got dismantled because you can't have a balanced team. You certainly can't have a run-based team.
Oh God, that's horrible. Yeah.
Nobody comes to watch people run and win Super Bowls. Wait, what?
Michael Weiner says at 60, I don't run. I don't know what that's in response to, but I want to bring up because I feel you. I can't.
It's because
I haven't run in a lot of years.
It's because RJ said, "Run, Mike, run."
I feel you, buddy.
We are the farm team for the best running backs in the league.
God, I hope the Packers trade for Melvin Gordon. He should come back to Wisconsin, when he was in college. He should come back. He would honestly, I think he would be loved by Packers fans, like instantly. It would be like, yeah, former Badger coming back to Wisconsin. Let's go. And he's a great running back,
Write the Spanos family and tell them he's a good running back.
Well, there was a time the Colts felt like that. Like we were training up good running backs and then letting them go, Edgerrin James and my poor memories went. The one we had before that, who's a Hall of Famer now, and like, geez, stop it.
Look, If you play for the Chargers as a quarterback, there's a good chance you'll end up in the Hall of Fame somewhere. Same with receivers. If you play for the Chargers and are running back, there's a good chance you'll end up in the Hall of Fame with a ring for another team.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying Melvin Gordon come to Green Bay. You know.
Yeah, it's sad. It's so sad.
Although honestly, this year I'm quite happy with now the new coach has come in and he's finally willing. What the hell? Did you hear that?
Is there a ghost coming for you?
No, those are explosions. I think there may be fireworks. I don't know. There's certainly some kind of explosions. Jesus Christ. What the hell? The
terrorists.
Yeah, they've come to Berlin. No. Carpet bombing. it keeps going. Like you hear that.
I'm used to it here in my neighborhood, but yeah, where you're at, that would be unusual.
Hey, it sounds like fireworks for the most part. I don't know. Maybe some kids being dumb again. It's Berlin. What do you expect? Where was I?
Don't remember.
Why am I asking the old people?
Well, I'm sorry. Deck Tran sent me a video. I believe it was rugby. This dude just gets laid the fuck out. Holy damn. I'll share the link in the chat if I can. I don't know if I can or not.
Yeah, I've seen rugby. It's not bad. I don't understand all the rules to it, but
this hit is just violent.
Yeah, the most important rule to rugby really is pretty much the same as in football, except you can't even throw the ball forward once. Like anytime you throw the ball, it has to be a lateral.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where the rule in the NFL comes from. That only one forward pass.
Thank you, Deck Train, Marshall Falk. How did I forget his name? Yeah. My gosh, he was a household name for in Indianapolis.
Oh, Falk, yeah, man. He was great. One of the all-time greats, man.
Yeah.
We had Marshall Falk, Edgerrin James. We traded them both away.
Yeah, I mean, at least you had great running backs, you know. I mean, if I look through the history of Packers running backs, you know, there's not much.
If you look at the Packers, though, they at least get a mid-range running back. There's some threat there, you know.
I mean, look, our best running back, the career rushing yard leader for the Packers, is Amon Green.
Yeah, Green was good. He wasn't a breakout one. He wasn't. Nobody was gonna tell their friends about how great he was. But he was a good, solid worker, and that's all you need if you have a good passing game. You just need some threat there.
Yeah, true. For someone like if your quarterback's a Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers in successsion, yeah, I think an Amon Green is all you need.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or Ryan Grant right after.
Well, our running back crew in Indianapolis is not stellar by any means. It's serviceable. It's good, but that's mostly on our offensive line, which was stellar. They just dominated the NFL last year.
I just found something amazing. You know who's 13th on the list of Green Bay Packers all-time rushing leaders?
Favre.
No, he's 24th. He didn't run that much. Aaron Rodgers.
There you go. Yeah.
He runs a bit more.
Go back to the 49ers. Wasn't
10. If he gets 500 more rushing yards, Aaron Rodgers is in the top 10 all-time rushing leaders for the Packers.
Wasn't Young like one of the leading rushers for the 49ers for a long time?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah, Steve Young used to run all the damn time.
Yeah.
He had the unfortunate Steve Young still played well, still got Super Bowl rings, but everybody's like, you're not Montana.
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
Yeah.
But to be fair, and being old enough to have watched Montana play, live on TV, it was hard not to compare to him.
Well, and again, it wasn't fair to him because there's never going to be another Joe Montana. That man was just so cool under pressure.
He was. Absolutely.
Kurt Warner was great too. Kurt Warner is one of the for the year that he was so big, he got a lot of accolades, but he is so underrated. And I really do think this. I think the NFL should sponsor the Arena League because that's where he came from.
Yeah.
And if you ever watch the Arena League, it is nothing but passing.
Oh, it's great. I like the Arena League.
Did he also play in the NFL Europe for a bit?
I think so. I can't remember. I want to say yes.
Yeah, for the one year for the Amsterdam Admirals.
No, I got to see the Arena League Championship. God, it's been a while now. Yeah. The Rampage doesn't even exist anymore. They used to be the Grand Rapids Rampage, and they won the championship, dude. And back then, whichever team was had the best record, that's where you played because it's all indoors. You don't have to worry about any of that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we got to go down there and actually watch. My brother called me up. You want to go to the Arena League Championship? Like, hell yeah, I do. We were way up, way up. But yeah, it was a great ass game. And when everything exploded because they won, it was awesome. But yeah, Arena League's nothing but passing. Get your fucking young quarterbacks in there. Make them go learn.
Yeah. But talk about Montana. You know, I got to give him his props. And in those days, you know, when he was playing, because I'm a Giants fan. But I was a Giants fan before the Colts were even in Indianapolis. And in those days, the Giants and the 49ers often met in the playoffs, you know. And so we faced him a lot, and I hated that. But good gosh, to watch him play, there was just nothing like it. You knew you were in the presence of greatness.
Like his demeanor is what made him so great. Yeah, he could throw the ball and all that, but under pressure, Montana's just like, I don't care.
Yeah, you could not fluster the man at all.
Good Mike grief. Vick. All right. Don't make me.
Yeah.
Michael Vick is a classic case of they should have made him a running back, which they used to do. Marcus Allen was a quarterback, but back in high school. And they realized this man runs way too well to be the guy throwing the damn ball.
Yeah, but hold on. But Michael Vick was a good thrower as well.
Bullshit. He could sometimes throw, and he could use half the damn field. That's why Michael Vick was so easy to stop for the teams who paid attention is he could only play half the field. That came from it. Back in college, they used to cut down the field. That's all they would give him is half the field to try to play because he wasn't smart enough to do the rest. That's why you give him the ball to run with. He was not a good quarterback. Yeah, if you watch, he overthrew a ton. He was bad.
Yeah.
Throwing that. Now, Drew Brees, he's another underrated one who's going to go to the Hall with his ring, who used to be a Charger.
I'm not a real big fan of that style of quarterback either, which was really popular at the time Vic played, you know.
I thought you were talking about Breeze. I was like, wait.
No. Well, I was still stuck on Vic. You know, you had RG3 came up through there. You had, Kaepernick. I'm just not a fan of that style of quarterback. They dominated for a season or two, but then everybody figured them out, and they got nowhere.
Well, the thing is, if you find a good balance, I think it's definitely a style that that can give your team more of a an additional dimension. But if it's just running and every second play, every time you get a little bit flustered in the pocket, you're like, okay, I'm gonna book it. Yeah, that's gonna get stale very quickly.
The only one who really had a chance of success and they didn't build a good enough team around him was Cunningham. Cunningham was awesome.
Yeah.
He was dangerous.
Yeah.
He was an excellent actual quarterback who could run instead of being somebody who could run, who could sometimes throw the ball.
Yeah, but
Michael Vick should have been a running back. He really should have.
There are a couple of quarterbacks who were also good at running, who were, very good quarterbacks who were also good at running. We talked about Steve Young earlier.
Yeah.
You know,
the difference is
if it's balanced, it works. You know, if they can throw, you can also let them run. But some of them just can't throw. You know,
it's not just a balance. It's that if you look at somebody like Michael Vick, it's almost like his first inclination was always to throw the ball or to run the ball. Steve Young, except for on very specifically designed plays, he was there to throw. He would run if he had to.
Yep.
And where Michael Vick was like, I don't know how to throw the ball, and then would take off running.
And yes, deck trained Lawrence Taylor. Oh man, guy was a
LT.
beast. He coked up beast, but he was a beast. The original LT, yes.
Lawrence Taylor, yeah. And then see LT. My favorite player of all time is Junior Seau, and just because he was. If you ever watch Junior play, he was on every play. It didn't matter where that ball was. Every fucking play, this 250-pound man was there.
Yeah.
And hitting people. Whew.
Yeah.
A damn sad story there.
Yeah. It's like there are rivals, our division rivals, but JJ Watt. It's just like, even if he's not the playmaker, he's in on the play, or he caused it because he's, causing a disruption on that side. Respect the heck out of JJ Watt.
Those are the best players, the best defensive players. It's like, how the hell did he get there?
Yeah. Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. Bobby Boucher is the best running back per the Water Boy.
Jeez.
What's your favorite football movie?
Oh, I don't know if I have one. I don't know. Good question. I don't have an answer though.
Huh? Because it's a little bit too what's the word I'm looking for here? Stylish, maybe. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but Any Given Sunday was an okay movie. But my actual favorite is The Replacements, which is just a silly, dumbass movie, but it's so fun. It's a fun football movie.
Oh, it would probably be. I can't remember the name of the movie. Somebody would probably be able to tell me what the name of it is. Several years ago, it really wasn't a football movie, but it surrounded football. Football was, a big part of the movie. But it started out with a dude that was running a play, and then in the middle of he's running the ball, he pulls out a gun and starts shooting players in front of him.
The Last Boy Scout.
There you go. Thank you.
Fucking love that movie.
Oh God. Look, for me the answer is very weird. Okay, I'm obviously not the only non-American here, so but for me it would have to be Draft Day, because I'm just into this kind of management side of football. I love getting into that, and trying to find good players, all that. I love this part, and really, for me, that was really a movie where I love to watch it every year when the actual draft day comes around. Day before, I watch the movie Draft Day.
I'm not familiar, but I would actually probably like that.
Yeah.
I can recommend it. I'd watch it if you can.
People have mentioned The Longest Yard. I didn't mind the remake of The Longest Yard, but I do prefer the original.
Burt Reynolds versus Adam Sandler. I'm shocked.
And we are now almost at the end of the stream. So if you have any questions, not that you haven't been asking them, now's the time to ask.
Yeah, they're just rattling off player names.
Yeah.
At least Deck Trend is.
Oh, Remember the Titans. That was good too. Yeah.
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 Excellent college football movie or high school football movie. Although I will admit, what's the one, the MTV one, with the dude with the big chin? Somebody help me out.
What?
I don't want your life. What the hell is that movie?
I have no idea.
Somebody in chat will know it. And Blindside was pretty good too, but that one to me, I didn't need all the, and I realize that's part of it, but I didn't need all the shit about his life. I really didn't.
Yeah.
Fuck, what's the name of that movie? Friday Night
Lights?
I don't think that was the name of it. Shit. The dude, Vanderbeek, is that his name? The dude from Dawson's Creek?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in a football movie. I liked it.
Let me look it up. Let me look it up. I'm pretty sure it was Friday Night Lights, but
is that the name of it? I can't remember.
I got Wolfgang asks, have been watching preseason? Some.
No.
I watch preseason. I don't watch the full game.
Oh, was it Varsity Blues?
Varsity Blues. There you go.
I do watch some of it. I don't watch the full game because, you know, the guys that pretty much, if you watch the first half of the game, you're going to see the people that are going to actually make the team.
Yeah, I feel like they don't really need a preseason.
Yeah.
Just have extra practice.
I would like to see them shorten it, honestly.
Yeah, the thing is, I think that, you know, looking at the way this preseason shaped out, that you had a lot of teams having joint practices.
Yeah.
I think that's the way forward, you know.
Yeah,
just having joint practices.
Here in Indy for a week, yeah, just very recently.
Yeah, Packers and Texans had joint practices as well for a week. Like, I think like there were like probably throughout the whole league, you know, they had like teams paired with each other to have joint practices with each other for a week. I think that maybe that was a whole program from the or by the NFL even.
But
I don't know. But
I'd like to see them shorten the preseason, to be honest. And for no other reason to lessen the chance of injuries, because
exactly,
you know,
I just remembered one from I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, in the Packers game, where probably the Packers, maybe even second best wide receiver, got injured. EQ St. Brown, and he's probably out for I don't know how long, but certainly a long time. I don't think there's a timetable on him yet, but yeah, really, really shit. And the thing is, so I think he's got some kind of leg injury, left leg injury, yeah. And I think he's probably out for a long time. And really, really sad, because one thing about EQ St. Brown, granted, his name doesn't look like it, doesn't sound like it. His full name, by the way, EQ is Equanimous.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's why everyone calls him EQ. But he has German ancestry, which again, name doesn't give that away, but he does. And so I like to follow his like progress as well.
Yeah, we had a German player here at the Colts a few years back.
Yeah, what was his name? Fuck.
Hitler von take over the world.
Monkey, I hate you.
But I've been good all stream.
Yeah, until now.
I have to get one in. You should have heard it when you left Bloodwing. I'm like, Badger, let me ask you a question. You could hear it in his voice. He's like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah.
That was good. I asked a real question.
I want to find this now.
Well, while you're looking that up, we are getting at the end of the stream, and it's that time where I thank everybody for coming out. Thanks everybody for your likes, your retweets, your comments, participating in chat. It all helps out, and this couldn't happen without you. And of course, for those that were able to go a little step further and give a donation, love y'all. Great bunch of people. Thank you, Badger Man, for stepping up and filling in for me at last notice.
Thanks for having me.
Very, very, very short notice. I know it was, but I'm a bad procrastinator.
It's all right. It's all right.
I hit him up like an hour and a half before the stream. Hey, you want to come on? But thanks for coming up. And anything, I think you might have something you want to show.
Yeah, I do. I did it before, but it never hurts to do it again. I do have a podcast now called Faster, Higher, Stronger Badger. It is available on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, where I stream it live, and then shortly after it will be uploaded to Spotify, Stitcher, and Apple Podcasts, aka iTunes. So if you want to follow it, make sure whatever your favorite podcast platform is to leave a follow there. Just Faster, Higher, Stronger Badger. It should be the first and only one to pop up, obviously, with that name. But yeah, next episode live on YouTube Monday. What was it, 8 p.m. my time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Monday 2 p.m. Eastern, and then shortly thereafter it will be on the audio platforms as well.
There you go. Go do it. Monkey, as always, good when you can stop by. And I was actually a little surprised because I knew you had to be tired after yesterday.
Oh, I got a little sleep.
Yeah, but as always, thanks for stopping by. Anything you want to shout out?
We're doing Lords of the Night on my channel tonight at 9. Otherwise, I'm good.
Yeah. And as for me, Redneck Radio will be back on Tuesday at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, and tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time will be the premiere of episode 12. I still can't believe it's been 12 episodes already. Episode 12 of Redneck Tracks, and this is going to be a special one. Big changes. Like I said, somebody gets the axe. So if you want to know who it is, tune in tomorrow at 5:30.
It's you, Blood, isn't it?
It's me. I got the team. They're going on without me.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks everybody for stopping by and giving us a listen. But until then, get out of my yard.
Bye, guys.
Bye.